How's it going, everybody? My name is Assure117. Welcome to my channel, and I'm your friendly neighborhood Assyrian gamer. As the title pertains today, we're going to be talking about Destiny 2, the Witch Queen. Now, Destiny 2 has always had an interesting launch here and there, and it's always been having like a roller coaster up and down. But it's had most of its ups usually been on their huge releases. Even then, some of those huge releases do tend to go down pretty fast. Very few of them, honestly, have had to where they tend to basically keep that edge pretty high up for a long time. None other actually than first time I think was actually the Taken King, and the latest one is the Witch Queen, which, in my personal opinion, has blown away the Taken King. Granted, I'm not hating on the Taken King. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that when it came down to the Witch Queen, a lot of things basically that we've always heard about, legends, lore, just the things basically we'd get from the grimoires or just the latest, well, not anymore latest anymore, but the UI in the game to where they talk about the lore and everything. We'd always basically go back and read them and everything. Now, if you're obviously a lore nerd like myself and some of my other friends, we took the time to basically go read them because we enjoy it. It's fun. You know, it adds more to the story. It actually makes the story even more. Uh, with this expansion, though, it's taken that and it's done more to where you don't have to always read it now. But if you do, it just enriches it even more. But now it's in front and center on the game in full view, and well, not just view. It's obviously, you can hear it too. One of the key things about it, in my favorite, in my personal opinion, my favorite one is got to be the newest mission, the Preservation, which kind of takes you inside the raid, up to a certain point in the raid, and obviously you're doing a different mission, but near the end of the mission, you're actually given like a huge long, a huge time to kind of go look around and explore. The person's actually guiding you is the queen, and she even tells you, she's like, you should come back and search this again. So they encourage you to basically go back in and do it. My first time in there was actually like these. They look like altars or podiums, and every time you click on one of them, you hear the newest antagonist who Rolk. I think that's his name. I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly, but he's essentially the new bad guy in the raid, the newest raid basically for this expansion. He talks about basically a lot of things, and he actually gives you huge insight onto like this, or basically a lot of people's past. The witness, the traveler, including the worms. At one of them, I believe he talks about the Leviathan and the fact that he took his rib. And if you've ever been inside the raid, there's a huge bone basically on display. That actually apparently is the rib of the Leviathan. But yeah, it's not my opinions. Basically, I'm talking about this. I know I kind of kept going. I apologize, but when it comes to lore and story in a game, I fall head over heels for it. Today, basically, I was reading an article, and Kotaku of all people, actually, that's funny, but they actually were talking about it, and yep, there you go. So yeah, it's actually two of the reporters, by Ethan Gatch, and the other one is I'm gonna butcher that name, Zach Zuin. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. Sorry, I don't know what else you want from me. I'm gonna leave the link to the articles in the description, so you're more than welcome to it. I'm basically just gonna kind of go through it and everything. Now, just a warning ahead of time, spoiler warning. I kind of already did it, but this kind of gives you a little bit more details. So if you haven't played it and you want to play it, and you're interested, and you do want to kind of experience it, I wouldn't recommend you reading it. Beyond that, I'm giving you the spoiler warning, so just let you know, okay? So basically, pretty much what they talk about is the fact that the story on here is no longer basically relegated to like I said, to the grimoires and everything else. And some of it basically has been building up since the beginning to where, actually including the beginning of Destiny 2 campaign. At the very end, when the Traveler actually awakens, at the very edge of the the galaxy, you see these ships basically just awaken, like, oh, you know, and no one knew exactly what it was until obviously, more recently afterwards, a couple of expansions. And they talk about basically about how the Hive God Savathun is reborn into the light and everything. The story in this, honestly, in my opinion, they've taken time to write it. Now, I don't know if this was planned or not. And if it wasn't, it's okay. Happy accidents like this sometimes make the story even more better. Like, if you don't try that hard sometimes and just let things fall in the right place by themselves, sometimes something beautiful comes out, and this is perfect beauty right there, honestly, in my opinion. They basically go over a lot of the different things about the fact that somehow a lot of the things in the story get turned on their head. Many things, for example, like the Hive were thought of as pure evil, and make no mistake, they were. All of a sudden to find out that they were tricked into being who they are, who at least we know them as. The fact that Savathun, ironically being the Hive God of cunning and trickery, gets actually tricked herself into doing something that she herself probably wouldn't ever want to do, or we don't know, honestly, her personally. Because if you read the story, you know that at the time, basically, it was Sathona, Arash, and I forgot the third one's name, but all three of them basically were sisters. Their dad dies, who is a king, and they go on a vengeful mission. But before he dies, he has what they call a worm, which is this thing over here. What's Ikora basically kind of hovering over. This worm kind of washed up, and it was thought to be dead. And when their dad picked it up, he basically would be cradling it like a baby. And a lot of the different texts, if you read it, even actually in the game, you hear Savathun say something about it, comment about it. After he died, Savathun actually picked it up and consequently essentially got manipulated by it, or at least a conduit, or whatever was basically being on it, to where led them to where it needed them. And from there on, they got turned in from what they used to be called the Krill to the Hive. A lot of the story, like I said, used to be on the lore, but now they're just literally putting it front and center to where they're telling it to you, you're watching it, you are essentially part of it. And that's essentially what this article goes through, honestly. In my personal opinion, I honestly like it. One of the biggest twists in the game, early on in the game, in this expansion actually, is that you find out that they're, well, not early on, it's actually more late into the campaign, but you find out that the Traveler's trying to basically gift the Hive, aka Trill, the light, and trying to help them and everything else. And they trick them into basically going to where they went and eventually turn into the Hive. And that's actually one of the ironies, like I said earlier, to where she got tricked into doing what they want her to do. One of the biggest pieces of lore as well is how her dad basically ended up getting the worm. And that actually turns out from some of the lore that you pick up from the preservation, to where you find out that it's actually Rolk who went down to the deep, fought the Leviathan, who actually kept the worms at bay. And when he went down there, and this is chronologically, this is essentially before this whole thing happened, before even the whole point of him getting to. So basically, what happens is all the worms are there, and their mother, who, if you've ever done the raid or done the preservation, you see her there. It's basically this is actually rendering art, but in the game, it actually looks like this. Similar, very similar, actually. Yeah. That's actually the mother of all the different worm gods that we've heard and actually even encountered, like Zol, for example, of the Thousand Voices. And he essentially subjugates them to where he takes her prisoner and uses her to make worms. One of the worms obviously ends up on the shores, to where the dad picks it up and just gets manipulated, and so on and so on. Goes to Savathûn, and well, you know what happens after that. And like I said, the story itself is so much integral into the whole mythos of the whole game, to where everything from the beginning of Destiny 2 up to this point have just kind of culminating to this. And one of the things in the article they talk about is the fact that they're thinking like there's an end to it. It seems like it. I don't know, honestly. My question is that every world that the traveler goes to seems to be running away from. One of my friends keeps basically telling me that he didn't run away from Earth, but I feel like he was trying to. But all the other worlds basically was left kind of high and dry. Now, that being said, one of their theories is that in Lightfall, travelers can actually will run, and we might end up basically going chasing after him. And or in Destiny 3, we might actually be fighting alongside the Cabal, the Eliksni, and whatever other races, basically. That could be. I don't know, honestly. All I'm saying is the story is actually needs to give credit where it's due on it. They've actually worked hard on it, and I'm actually very proud. I'm happy with it. You know, the addition of actually the legendary mode was so much fun. So much that I actually finished it already twice. I'm on my third character right now, my Titan, and doing it. And the new updated classes, I'm fully in love with. I haven't even used my solar on my warlock, honestly. I'm just stuck on the void. Hunter, same thing. It's like I don't want to use anything else but void on my hunter. I can't wait for what they're going to do with the other two classes. And my hunter, I actually fell in love with stasis, to be honest. But yeah, no. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the other two subclasses. One of my friends' theories is that we might actually get an actual darkness class. Maybe. I'm not sure, honestly. One of the funny thing too is I realized there was another article not that long after by the very second person that Ethan was talking to, Zach, and he released an article about one of the newest addition to this expansion, and it's the Glaive. The Glaive actually is one of my favorite weapons now, in so many different ways, actually. The simple fact that you can actually carry it and the sword is one thing, which I haven't actually done it yet. One of the things actually I think Bungie should do, and please, Bungie, if you're watching this, please let us actually create a sword, our own kind of sword, and give the Warlock at least a new attack animation instead of just twirling around, right? You gave the Hunter and Titan something. Let the Warlock have his own attack animation, unique one. Whatever. Anyway, I'm just saying. My little rant. But yeah, the Glaive is unique in so many different ways. The simple fact that you can actually stay in third person is one thing. But so much so that it's a the way that this guy actually put it is actually almost so much better. It's like a fusion rifle with a sword, and well, we don't actually have that many shield emitting weapons, with the exception of, I believe, the ruin effigy. But doesn't hurt you when you shield yourself. But yeah, uh it's actually I love it, honestly. And the best part about it is, mods aside, is that without any ammo, you can still use it. And unlike swords, for example. But with mods, even without weapons, this thing's amazing. Obviously, I'm talking about glaive suppression. I've been using that so much on the campaign and during any mission. It's my go-to. It's I don't even think there's anything better than that. My opinion, anyway. But yeah, it's a really unique weapons, and I want them to actually start creating unique weapons, even if it means they have to go in third person. I don't care. Like melee weapons, for example. I would love for them to actually create like a shield, kind of like the relic. Give us axes. Give us dual wielding knives, for that matter. I don't care who uses them or not, or if it's a class base. I'm not opposed to class based weapons either, for that matter. That being said, uh, give us some variety. I mean, you even created the forge, or not the forge, weapon creation, whatever you want to call it. That one, I hope you kind of expand on it. I do have a couple complaints about this expansion and the weapon creation. I wish you would actually expanded on a lot of things, and maybe you are, and I'm just kind of complaining for no reason. The other thing I'm complaining about is the whole masterworking weapon, to where it just kind of gives us stats, and we can't even do light orbs anymore. I'm sorry, power orbs, orbs of power. And we can't even masterwork the forge weapons. Like my glaive right now is a level 44. My Striga is level 38, and my rocket launcher, the Palmyra, is I believe 40. Now, I didn't know if there was an end to it or not. It just keeps going. I don't know what the point is, honestly, at this point. I have no idea. Past level 16 or 12, I think, I opened up everything. What else is there? What's the point of keep going if you're not going to let us masterwork it or do anything? You should at least have a certain stop to it, or a reward after reaching a certain level. Not even or. I'm sorry. You should have a stop to it and a reward at the end of it, because we're working hard on it and we're doing something. You can't just basically have it keep going for no reason. That's my opinion on it, honestly. I feel like I feel like basically whoever thought of that, they haven't decided what they want to do yet, and they should really basically come up with it really fast, because creating weapons is one thing. Making it the way you want it, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on it. The tiny little quirks on it, like, for example, the level, after apparently you've unlocked everything, what's the point after that? Let me know, please. And we should be able to at least masterwork it. And please bring back the regular masterworking. Don't just take it away for no reason and expect us to be okay with it. Well, that's about it basically for this video. If you have any questions basically about the game itself, please let me know. Comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer. I'm not a lore master on this. I do love to follow it a lot more than you average person, though. I'll do my best to basically answer it. I have friends who actually know more about it than I do. I'll be more than happy to relate to you. Another thing is I've actually started streaming on Twitch. If you wish to follow it, I have the link on my my channel. I'll leave the link below too as well. I would love for you guys to actually watch me play and struggle. I'm actually streaming right now Horizon Forbidden West. I'm a huge fan of that franchise. I actually finished the very first game a long time ago. I 100% it. 100% it. I've been actually trying to finish it again until the second one came out. I kind of forgotten it, leaving a little bit. But the second one's, in my opinion, just as amazing, if not even more. The story actually has gotten somewhat pretty interesting. I'm actually kind of proud of Guerrilla Games. But yeah, I'll leave the link to my Twitch channel below as well. But yes, please let me know if you liked the video. I would appreciate a like, a comment, and a share. It would help me basically make more of this content. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Live long, stay geeky.